For the purpose of critique, review, and education, and under the Fair Use Law of 1976, we get to play all this music because we make no money on it, and famous people should just accept it because we're promoting you, in a way.
There you go. Promotion of past positive LBs from the 45, what's it, 76, and all the good stuff.
Yeah, 78s, you mean.
78s.
So, this is the Nerdlings Podcast. My name is WC Chronicles, and on the phone is Stinky Jersey
Hi,
Mike.
This is Virginia Vic.
Oh.
I was hunting possum stew because I was in Virginia.
Okay, we got Virginia Vic on the phone then, instead of Stinky Mike.
You want to talk to Stinky? Hang on a second. Stinky! Oh, Stinky! It's for you! It's somebody named Lawrence. Okay, give me a second. I'm hunting possum. Hello, Lawrence, or Mr. Wayne. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Are you ready to play
Ready to play a game.
Okay, so in everything that we've done up to now, we've been doing Shall We Play a Game? And we're still going to play a game, okay? But I am taking it from a takeoff. Gesundheit. I am taking it a takeoff from 3 words you said last week. So let me play this 22-second intro of the game that we're going to kind of play, but it's going to be a little bit modified, okay?
In this safe is a mystery tune. Today, one of our contestants could qualify to name that tune for $25,000 in cash. From Hollywood, the music capital of the world, it's Name That Tune. And now the star of our show, Tom Kennedy.
Okay, we're going to do Name That Tune, but we're going to do kind of an updated rendition of doing it, just for the podcast, okay?
Okay, this is how shall we play a game? Let's name a tune. Name that tune.
Okay.
Wasn't that when they said name that tune? I can name it in 3. I can name 2. Name that tune.
Yes, but we're modifying it for a little bit for the podcast, and it's still going to confuse you, I think.
Okay.
All right, so first of all, let's introduce the song that you're going to be listening to for about 5 times, okay? So first of all, see if you can identify it, okay? Let me play a bit of it, okay? So this is the original, the guy who had the hit with it, okay? Here, just the opening riff. You know that song?
Put the old records on the shelf. That was from Got the Same Soul, Ain't Got Rock and Roll. That was in what the hell you call that? Tom Cruise when he does that. Dun, 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 dun.
Yes, it's close enough. Bob Seger, Old Time Rock and Roll.
Old Time Rock and Roll. Okay, I remember that from what's the name of that movie? He was in We Know the Killer Pimp.
Risky Business, 1983.
Risky Business. Wow. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Everybody's fantasy was Rebecca De Mornay back then.
Yes. Oh, yes. So, here's the thing. Just quick information about the song. It came out in the movie Risky Business 83, but Bob Seger released it in March 1979, and it got up to number 28 on the charts, and re-released in 1983 because of the movie hype, only up to 48. I thought it would have got a lot higher at that time.
You're not kidding. My gosh.
So, here's what we're going to do for the Name That Tune portion of it, all right? And the listeners at home can listen as well and play right along, all right? So, I've got 5 famous groups, acts, performers, entertainers who have recorded their own versions of this song. And you have got to try to guess who it is, okay?
Oh, wow. What a Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, by the way.
Yes, happy Mother's Day, even though we're a week off. Anyway, I'm going to play these for you, and you got to guess who it is, all right?
That sounds like the Fab Five.
All right.
Play it, stuff it, let's play it.
Okay, so here is the first one, and I actually had an interaction with this person once. We didn't talk, but me and my brother ran into him once. But that's another story. You ready?
Okay, yes.
Here we go, okay? Try to identify.
Just take those old
Okay, so in the abridgment, do you know who that is?
I'm going to give one guess, and I'm going to say Grace Slick.
No, but that is an interesting guess. Grace Slick. No, not Grace Slick. I'll tell you this, this was his 23rd solo album. He recorded this from an album he did called Songs of Cinema, which is movie songs. Very popular in the 80s. Still continued to be popular even today, but mostly because of his cult following.
Oh, so Phil Collins.
No, that was not Phil Collins. That was a little too strong of a voice there, couldn't you tell?
No. No, I couldn't. So, okay. 80s to today, music, not Barry Manilow.
Nope, not Barry Manilow. He did, in the 80s, he did cover the original 60s song, Percy Sledge's song, When a Man Loves a Woman, and he made it his own and made a real big hit with it.
Carl Driggs.
No, not Carl Driggs.
Phil Van Vogt.
No.
I am stumped. Go ahead.
All right, you give up. That was
Yes, I do.
That was Michael Bolton.
Michael Bolton. And how did you and your brother have an interaction with Michael Bolton?
Well, this was about when he was dating Marla Maples, okay? If you remember, he was dating her for a while.
Just before or after Mr. Trump made her his wife?
Something like that, yeah. And this was, I believe I'm getting my information correct, but me and my brother and a friend of his, we were going to go see Paul Revere and the Raiders up in Clark County, Washington, to the summertime fair to see the Raiders. And we were in line and getting our tickets, and Marla Maples was there just looking hot as it's a podcast, hot as shit. But this was a time when Michael Bolton had his hair long and, curly and, not very well maintained in a hot, humid summer day of the summer.
Wow.
And they were standing, and I was standing third in line behind my brother and his friend Jeff, and they were in front of us. And I was just I was laughing at Michael Bolton's hair because it was just, just a mess because of the humidity and stuff that day. But I couldn't, from my angle, I didn't see Marla Maples in front of him, but my brother and Jeff saw her. And I'm sitting there trying to tell my brother and his friend, look at that guy's hair, look at that guy's hair, it's hilarious, it's all over the place. And then they got their tickets and then they're walking away, and then I notice you turns around, he's Michael Bolton has that well-defined nose and jaw and face line, and I'm like, that's Michael Bolton, what the shit? And then a friend goes, yeah, but did you see the hot woman? I'm like, that was Marla Maples. We were standing right behind him.
Wow. Now, I also have a Marla Maples story.
Oh,
let's
hear it.
I used to sell change as a change person back in 88, 89 after graduating high school at Trump Castle at the time. Well, they used to have like an ice cream truck as soon as you came into a certain area. It was like exactly what it was, but you would sell change out of it, right?
Uh-huh.
Guess who comes in one day? Marla Maples with our great president, Donald Trump, before he was even perceived to run for politics.
How bizarre. That's interesting.
That is crazy on how we have squirrel serendipity from 100 coasts apart, years apart, and it goes to Marla Maples, to the president, to Michael Bolton. Wow. What a Mother's Day this is.
Yeah. Well, let's get on to our next one. You got to guess the artist, okay? So, only thing I'm going to tell you is she recorded this in 1979. I don't know the month or the angle of the year, same time when Bob Seger did it, but it is a bit of a different sound, so let's hit it.
Believe
Okay, any guesses?
Pat Benatar.
That's a good guess, but no, not Pat Benatar.
Linda Ronstadt.
Not Linda Ronstadt, no. I'll give you some clues.
Patti LaBelle.
Not Patti LaBelle, no.
All right, at least I'm on target of the years that they were performing.
Well, all right, so she was a very famous TV actress in the 70s. She made, guest appearances on Love Boat, Fantasy Island. She was part of Knots Landing for 17 episodes, making just mega guest appearances in dramas and other serious dark comedies throughout the 70s and into some of the 80s as well.
Joan Rivers or Joan Collins.
No, not Joan Collins. I'll say this to you, okay? So she got married to a very famous country singer back in 1991. She married Clint Black and actually took his last name. So her name is Blop Blop Black.
Can't be Karen Black, the singer-actress, right?
Nope, not Karen. Nope.
Tina Black?
Nope.
I give up. I have to give a time limit to give up.
Okay, I will. That's all right. Your time is up. That is Lisa Hartman from 1979, doing her version of it.
She had the Lisa Hartman show, didn't she?
I think she did, yes. But you look at her discography of her career on Wikipedia, it is lengthy. It's still lengthy. She's doing good.
You know what's funny? You remember Don Johnson when he had the run with him and Philip Michael Thomas had the run with Miami Vice?
Yes, of course.
Don Johnson had Heartbeat. He sang too.
Right, he did.
I think a lot of these stars wanted to get their name out there and show they had other art, they like the triple threat, or like maybe you can sing or dance 2 out of 3. They say act, sing, and dance. So some of these artists, I'm telling you, I think Don Johnson could have made it on the scene. If he didn't do some of the movies he did, like Georgia, Mason Line, Georgia, some other things he did, and some of the war film, I think he could have sang. Lisa Hartman, definitely. That was a great voice.
Yeah, well, she got away from what she was doing and marrying Clint Black. They had like 3 number 1s on different songs on the country charts. Wow. So she pretty much went country at that point.
I would have never guessed that one.
Huh?
Stumped Stinky and Virginia Vic, y'all.
All right, so let's get to our third one now, okay? So now the title has been a little bit adjusted. It's called Goddamn Rock and Roll. Okay, that's all I'm gonna tell you. And
I dig that goddamn rock and roll, the kind of stuff that don't save souls. And I'm just horny enough to throw a blind screw through some halo. Now Jill's bucket Jack had to hold. Some rabbit dug himself some Alice hole. Humpty dumped it till it done explode. They did that goddamn rock and roll. Yeah, they did that goddamn rock and roll. That kind of stuff that don't save
Okay, any guesses?
I was going to say Weird Al Yankovic, but the voice is too deep.
Yeah, the voice is too deep. I'm even going to tell you the name of the lead singer, because I know it won't give too much away.
Travis?
Nope, he goes by the pseudonym Lux Interior.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Not Bowser.
No, not Bowser from Sha-Na-Na, but that is a good guess
voice.
because they do
Voice.
that is a good guess. That deep voice, yes, good guess, but no.
Is it the guy that did ha 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 like it hot? I forget his name. The actor. I saw him in something today. The guy that does I Like It Hot. I'm trying to think because he acts and he sings too. He's a comic.
That one I do not know.
You know how they go I like it hot hot hot.
Oh yeah, Buster Poindexter. No, it is
Yes. Okay.
not Buster Poindexter, but that is a pretty good realm guess. I would have to say that is good.
And then you stump me because I have no idea, and I'm not giving up easy. I'm coming up with good, solid people in the years. But I can't even imagine. The only other prowess I could say is Travis, the guy who sings. He's half country.
Well, let me throw this to you. Okay, so they had one hit in 1990 in England. Well, actually, okay, their version was recorded in 1990, but they had one hit in the UK, which was number 28, Bikini Girls with Machine Guns.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't even imagine that.
And that
90, I'm 20 years old. Who could have did that?
well,
No. Hang on. Milli Vanilli.
Nope, not Milli Vanilli. That would have been an interesting concept for them, wouldn't it?
Especially when they faked all their music. I give up. Go ahead. Who is it?
I will tell you, that is well, I want to give you another clue, okay?
Okay, good. Don't make it easy.
So, their hit song, Goo Goo Muck, that was featured as Jenna Ortega when she was doing the Wednesday's dance scene back in
Not the
December.
Ramones.
Good, very good guess, but no. But that song Goo Goo Muck became popular all over again in December 22 because of Jenna Ortega's Wednesday dance scene that was created on The Addams Family.
Oh, Lurch was dancing too, right?
I don't know. No, I don't
You're
think.
going back to the original, right?
No, this was
Oh, okay.
this past December 2022.
Okay, I have no clue then. I give up.
It is the Cramps. The Cramps.
I vaguely remember hearing them, but I know nothing about them.
Well, they are very much a cult following. They're very humorously doing it, vampire-ish kind of punk, I guess.
Okay, wow. So you're going back around CBGB in New York when there were the Ramones. There was a couple other groups like I'm trying to think of the names now. This is before Madonna. This is like 80, 81. This is around the time of Son of Sam.
That would be so, yes. They've been around for a while. I think a lot of people know who they are because they were featured on their music video for Bikini Girls with Machine Guns was featured on MTV's Beavis and Butthead when they were watching music videos and commenting on it, if you remember that.
Oh, wow. No, I don't. That's funny. Holy smokes. You remember, he used to go back, and then he used to go, got a good job, not today, watch MTV, Beavis and Butthead. Oh my gosh.
So that's the Cramps one. All right, here's your fourth one. All right, here we go. All right, and again, another woman doing a version of it. Okay.
What year was this?
This would have been 1989, 1990.
Okay.
Okay. All right, here you are.
Just take those old records off the shelf. I sit and listen to them all by myself. Today's music ain't got the same soul. I like that old time rock and roll. Don't try to take it to no disco. You'll never even get me out of the floor. In 10
Okay, there you are.
Bonnie Raitt.
Whoa, no.
Oh.
But it does sound like Bonnie Raitt.
Oh my
I will
gosh.
give you credit on that. That does sound like Bonnie Raitt.
The only other one I could think of is Laura Branigan.
Nope. So this lady was born in 1937. She would be 87 years old today. The song was primarily recorded and released for European release, Germany, Norway, Northern European countries, where she is still popular today.
Sadie Hawkins.
Nope. Well, what's funny you say Sadie Hawkins, because that's the tradition of the dance where the girls ask the boys. But she had a big hit with the song "Stupid Cupid." Hey, stupid Cupid, leave me alone. That song.
Oh my gosh. You know, and the only other one I can come up with is oh my gosh. You got me good today. This is like getting my mind work. I'm trying to think. Holy smokes. All right, I'm going to go with this one again. Pat Benatar.
Nope, not Pat Benatar. Nope. It is Connie Francis. Can you believe it? Connie Francis.
No, I cannot because she was a tremendous actress. She did a lot of movies, but a lot of TV series. I didn't know that she sang.
Long list of career feats if you look at her Wikipedia page. A lot like Lisa Hartman Black. Just this huge running list of endeavors. It's a huge one.
That's just like, wow.
All right, so that was Connie Francis. So
I
far,
would have never got that.
well,
Didn't she sing "Take This Job and Shove It"?
no, that was she. Now she might have. I don't know, possibly, but that was Johnny Paycheck who did that.
Oh,
one.
okay. Gotcha.
That would be an interesting song to look up. I think I'll do that. All right.
Take this job and shove it.
So here's the next one. Okay, you ready for it?
Oh, I'm ready.
And I'm cluing you ahead of time. This is a live version that he recorded and released. Okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Just get them old records on the shelf. I sit and listen to them by myself. 2 days of music ain't got the same song. I like that old time rock and roll. I like that old time rock and roll. The kind of music that soothes my soul. I reminisce about the days ago. I like that old time rock and roll. Play this rock and roll, baby.
Okay, there.
Okay, he was in a lot of movies. He was an actor, and he was a country singer. Ray Jennings.
No, he was mostly a singer first, a balladeer. He was part of a duo, okay, for a long while, okay. But this was him doing a solo. This was actually recorded in 1988.
The Righteous Brothers.
Yes. Now, who are the Righteous Brothers members?
Johnny and something.
No, Johnny.
Okay, I'm lost. I remember them. I saw them in concert because my parents loved them.
I saw him in concert too, and they did some great banter for doing it.
Well, at least I got somebody fast out of the 5. That was good for me. I'm having a good day.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I just don't know the Righteous Brothers' name.
All right. He had he had a huge hit back in the 80s as part of the Dirty Dancing soundtrack.
I've had the time of my life. I know exactly what song it is.
Right.
I met him at resorts when I was a kid with my sister. I forget his name.
Jennifer Warren, duetted with, his initials are BM.
Bobby something.
No, not Bobby Hatfield. It's Bill Medley. Bill Medley.
Bill Medley. Oh, I've had the time of my life.
So I would say you got. We'll give you. If I had to give you a grade out of 10 on this, we'll give you half a point for getting Old Time Rock and Roll, the original, at the beginning, and half a point on that one. You're 1 out of 10 on that one. You scored 10% on this test.
You know what's good about that? If you look at baseball, if you only hit 10%, you're only at 100. But a utility hitter, you might come in with a back cleanup and something, or a pinch hitter. That could be your job and make you a career. So I'm glad with myself today. At least I'm in the ball game. I'm off the target, off the charts. But at least I got some good stuff out there, because that was really tough.
It was very tough. Yeah, we will intersect these kind of, we'll go back and forth between shall we play a game and name that tune to try to wrap it up, as long as I can keep finding good quarry and good cues for a lot of famous cover version songs. Okay?
I don't see how you can't, because the way you pull them off of Germany, Czechoslovakia, Slovakia in the middle of 100 years ago, you are the man that finds the gold that's super buried. You find it.
I do it because I like it, and it makes it a fun podcast, because I think this rendition of having the listeners play at home is a good way to do it.
I think Shall We Play a Game named that tune, and remember that one? It was like the $100,000 question with Dick Clark.
$25,000 pyramid?
Well, yeah, then it was the
$100,000 pyramid or something like that.
Yes. And then it changed and went from 25 to 100. And then you have the original Match Game, and you got some of the classics that are buried somewhere. Mabel's Super Vault, you go and get, and it's amazing how you pull them out. I don't know how you do it. You are the go-to to get the gold that is super buried.
It's fun to find them, and maybe we'll get another variation of another one in the future. I don't know, but I'm happy where we're at right now.
So am I. Happy Mother's Day, Mothers Early.
That's it, and we'll see and hear and talk to you everyone next time. Have a good day.